selling hot dogs. You're big celebrities. You should be able to do an unbelievable business in selling for a lot higher price than that. Your celebrity will be fired. Good luck. Go.
You're fired.
That's a clip from Celebrity Apprentice, and the reason it's going to do well is because Carol Alt's a hottie. The season premiere.
Agreed. She's been on our show.
She's a hottie. I'm sorry.
Hottie mommy.
And Donald's right-hand man in the boardroom is
like
a
Tracy.
dynamic, well, I wish, and very successful son, Donald Trump Jr. He's got a different style when it comes to business, and he's taken over quite a bit of it, managing condo development from Hawaii to Vegas to Fort Lauderdale. His sister's a happy hour regular, and we hope he becomes one too. Welcome to Donald Trump Jr.
Thank you, guys.
How you doing, Donald? Also known as Clark Kent. You want to throw those on real quick and just prove it?
Now there's Clark Kent.
There you go.
Oh!
Clark Kent, take him off. We got Superman. The Donald Jr., also known as Superman.
Dad will be proud.
Hey, welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. It was an interesting last segment. I can't believe you're forecasting $25 oil anytime soon.
Well, he also said he's getting married in a few weeks, too.
Wait, that was a
He's just a professional naysayer. He just wants to be that guy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, your parents are having a heart attack.
Yeah, I tell you what. Marriage. I met somebody who got married once.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I did it. I did
Are you
it.
married?
I am
with
married.
The kid, I believe.
Married
I
with
heard
the
you say.
7-month-old. So
yeah, I met a couple of kids once too.
It's great. Yeah, she hasn't hit that stage now where she's a total nightmare yet. So she's been great.
Well, she can't talk to you. Once they talk to you, you
yeah, and she can't run.
Right.
So it's good.
Right.
It's good. It's just kind of put her there, and everything's good.
Good.
So, talk to us about the new show, man. Are you on it?
Show's going to be great. Yeah, on it tonight, airing first episode. You know, it's really fun to do it with the celebrities because it's a lot different when you have a 22-year-old who may not know anything from the middle of the country. Doesn't.
Right.
You yell at them, you almost feel bad. Like these guys, you have intelligent people, self-made, have done really well for themselves. Really, the top of their respective fields. Just a lot of fun, and you have some, great bickering from moment one because they're also, listen, to get anywhere in the world, you got to be pretty tough.
Right.
Yeah.
These people have gotten everywhere.
So you
and so right from the beginning. There's some good stuff with
I saw a clip where they're like pour a drink on someone's head walking out of the room.
It gets really
Gene
aggressive
Simmons,
early.
I mean, the guy loves any reality show, partly because he's so wacky. He actually makes him somewhat entertaining.
Right.
Yeah.
But Lennox Lewis.
Tito Ortiz.
I am not scared of either one of those guys.
Carol Alt, obviously. That was a good highlight for me. That was high school. It was great.
Exactly.
Good memories.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, it's Carol freaking Alt, man.
You don't have to tell me. I adore her.
Big fan. All right, so you guys, have you already filmed the whole season? It's already done. I think we saw you actually one day in front of the Fox.
Yeah, I think you did. You did.
So
selling hot dogs.
So you know.
Exactly.
Oh, right, because they have to sell hot dogs.
They're selling hot dogs.
So now you know already who won.
Well, now we filmed alternate endings, so it's totally a secret. No one knows.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's not going to get out, but it is fun. It's
Who gets fired tonight?
Not going to tell you.
You're not going to tell.
You're going to have to watch.
All right, well, excellent. Actually, let's talk a little real estate while we got you here, man.
Absolutely.
What's going on with the projects? Are you guys, we keep seeing a lot of projects falling apart. We're seeing some constriction of capital. Are you seeing rates rise? Is it being more difficult to build projects?
Clearly, there's a lot of mess in the real estate world. I think the problem is when they talk about real estate, they're looking at subprime and the debacle thereof. It's really not applicable to what we're doing. We're kind of in that high-end echelon that people have money. Our guys aren't necessarily worried about getting their mortgage for, a $400,000 condo. Our people, we sold a $12 million apartment, $12.5 yesterday. It's really not applicable to us. So you really have to break down real estate into multi-segments, right?
But now, Manhattan's been impervious. But what about a place like Florida? You're building in Fort Lauderdale.
Correct, and we're good there. Again, most of what we did, we timed everything right. We got very lucky. I'd like to consider it good, but we kind of got in, sold before a lot of the mess. The Florida debacle hasn't even hit because people really haven't even started closing yet. You don't even know what's going to happen until these buildings are completed, and you say, hey, guess what, guys? I need you to close in 30 days. That's when you're going to see Florida fall apart. So when they're talking about Florida being a horrible real estate market already, it hasn't even touched the surface yet because 90% of the stuff is still under construction. No one who's not going to close is going to say, oh, by the way, I'm not closing. They're going to wait and hope they can pull off a miracle so they don't have to walk from their deposit.
Now, you're saying all of that, but you're saying that our stuff is impervious to it. And I'm saying, look, man, it's not as if the market itself debifurcates. That's for you, Jason.
You better put money in.
Debifurcates. Interesting.
I'll do it. But anyway, I don't think you can bifurcate the markets like that. You can't separate subprime from the rest of the market because over time, values themselves have to come down.
It's a gray area.
Because if someone has $50 million in their bank and they're buying $1 million pied-à-terre, guess what, guys? They can write the check.
Right.
They'd rather write the check and say, you know what, I can hold this for 7 years. I can weather the storm. I'll be back in time, and I'll get my money back out there.
Donald, that's in year 5.
This is my life.
But that's year 5 in economic boom, and we got a $38 billion bonus that the Fed is putting into the investment banks to make sure that everybody gets their bonuses at the end of the year, to make sure
you got to
that
remember, guys, the psychology of walking away from 20%. These guys can't do it, even if it's not the greatest
But that's 2008. I'm saying in 2009, 2010, are you telling me that asset values at the high end are not going to be impacted by the credit crunch?
No, I think asset values across the board are going to be ultimately impacted. It's about whether people are willing to take that hit, whether they're going to buy real estate anyway, because guess what? They want a home. They want to live in the best place.
But
the guy that's making $50 million, maybe he's making 45 this year.
Why is that necessarily true? New York has yet to get hit by this.
New York hasn't been.
And it might not.
Because it's an amazing city. You got a couple factors. First of all, New York is always going to be New York.
Exactly.
People want to live here. Secondly, you have a dollar that's depreciated so much against virtually every foreign currency that people are buying at a 40% discount regardless. So I have Europeans still buying our apartments today because they're saying, wow, it could be the peak of the market. I'm selling in Soho
right now
at $3,000 a foot, and they're saying, wow, I'm buying in effective $2,004. It's great. So they're saying there's a hit building. It's beautiful. I know it's run by Trump. I know it's the best of market, best of segment, best of everything. I'll buy it. I don't care.
So that's why Vegas is doing well. Same reason.
Vegas has done well for us there. It's, you know, people. We have a loyal following. We deliver a better product than everyone else. People come to us, and we're again dealing in that upper echelon. It doesn't mean it's good or bad, but you know, something in the middle of Iowa, you know, some real estate project that some guy said, "Wow, I want to borrow $20 million to build 400 homes here." Yes, you know, that probably wasn't the most well thought out plan when you say, you know, and everyone who bought into it.
Well, but we need to bail that guy out. Please freeze his rates, take some money from the grandma, and give it to that guy because you know what? He got snookered in it.
Well,
yeah, but by the way, so did the developer. Everyone blames the subprime borrower. They don't forget about the dentist-turned-developer who borrowed $20 million when he didn't have the collateral to back it up. He didn't really have the ability to do this. He just said, wow, everything is long, everything long,
What's keeping you up at night then? I mean, if you guys are feeling like you're in a good spot, what are the worries? What are the paranoias? Because you got to be.
Listen, obviously, I don't like what I've seen
got to be paranoid
going on in this country. The natural thing for us is really where I'm spending most of my time is abroad. I'm overseas. I'm looking at deals in India. I'm looking at deals in China. The reason why I disagree with your $25 oil hedge is because I'm looking at these populations grow and their desire for wealth and just the young, you know, you look at India, the average population is 25 and making a lot of money. They're going to want cars. They're going to want oil and everything that goes there with. And so that's why all these things are becoming
So you're doing a lot of building overseas then, Abu Dhabi.
That's where I'm long. There will be a time where I'm long the U.S., but I see the average U.S. market. If you want to get away from what I was saying and aggregate everything across the board, I think real estate prices in this country are going to be the same in 5 years as they are today. Well, meaning you're going to go down and you're going to come back up. I think New York's an anomaly. I think the ultra-luxury segments, the Palm Beaches of the world, perhaps Miami in time, although Miami's going to have its own serious issues. But in time, they'll work out. The frequency is very different. But if you take an aggregate across the board, I see it, 5 to 7 year cycle. I'm not very long overall U.S. real estate.
There you go. So net, that's where I was going to get. Net, you're basically saying you're not very long the U.S.
I'm very long,
but you are long
because I think
abroad.
You can't generalize. I break things down into a zip code, even in New York, on a block-by-block basis, right? When everyone's talking about certain areas, you really have to look at. You can't say, well, I like New York in general. Well, what is New York? Does that mean Harlem is the same as Park Avenue? Does that mean meatpacking is? No, they're all going to vary, and there's going to be a different frequency for what happens in the overall cycle of the market.
I don't think you can. I don't think that real estate over time. Maybe you can try and catch some of those nuances, but I think New York itself trades as a unit over time. By 2010, if the market's up another 20%,
you can't put the guy who rents an apartment for $1,000 in the same boat as the guy who's got $12 million.
The guys, if you look at Park Avenue,
by the way,
take the big apartments that have sold there. A couple years ago, you could have bought them for $7 million. Now they're selling for 50 to 100. It's not going to be the same as the 3rd Avenue kind of high 80s building that is a condo that's just been done over and over and over again. It's just not going to aggregate.
Superman's right. Hanson's wrong. We got to go.
Come on. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Where's my glasses? Glasses. I'll be the nerd. Then I'll at least look smart.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't be right, but I'll at least look right.
All right. Well, we thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Come back.
You're coming back.
Quick shots, I think.
I'll come back. You want me?
Excellent.
You got to come back and be a smart aleck. Can you do that?
I do that well.
I think you pulled it off pretty well so far.
I can't even help myself.
All right, guys. I tell you what, we've all heard about fantasy football. Could you imagine if it was real? Our next guest made it a reality, and he can put your money where his team is. Yeah, we got teams going public over the internet. What can I tell you?
Nutty.
That's on tap.